Hey Steve, I thought I'd send you a video of what I'm coming up with for God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. I'm trying to follow the chords that are suggested in the sheet music, uh, and trying to find fingerings that work with that. I'll just kind of run through it real quick so you can kind of just hear where everything's going, I guess. Uh, so, I thought the keyboard would play at the beginning, so it could I could just not, like I said, only play where it happens in the recording, which isn't as much. So just this sounds the closest I could come up on my guitar with the sounding like a keyboard was like doing like a bar D minor chord, and then but I don't know. I'm trying to avoid bar chords. But anyway, I thought I just wouldn't play, and if I do play on that, it would just be single strums. I would just whoops, not a seventh. And for the second. C second, B minor, or with the B minor just playing. Because I thought maybe leaving my E and B strings open throughout most of my chordings would kind of keep things sounding consistent instead of being like stuff sort of kind of like, for example, like I saw this, I know that there's the brush drums that come in, and it seems like what they did with the acoustic guitars was kind of complement what the brush pattern was in the recording. So I was, with the whole strumming that they do there, which doesn't happen until I guess what I'd labeled the string interlude. And if I have to play on verse 2, on E minor ninth, I know the ninth is like the ninth from the root, so it's like a really high note, but which I think is like an F sharp. The ninth note is an F sharp, I think. Hang on. I'm trying to. So I was making up for that by playing that F sharp by playing it here. So in my chord I'm that. So and for my G major ninth, since I'm not reaching up for that high ninth note, I'm substituting the in the G major 9. So, and again, I'm leaving my E and B strings open, so throughout my chordings, I'm that's like From God Our Heavenly Father, a Blessed Angel Came. Instead of playing a B minor 7, like I'm just playing this thing, or even possibly playing I don't want to do this, but or I could. So I'm from God our Heavenly Father, the blessed angel came, and unto certain shepherds brought. Now for the major 9, I was doing this. I was going the C major 9 that happens in brought tidings. And unto certain shepherds brought tidings of the same. I'm doing I think that my D string representing an octave down from the high ninth that would be in that C major ninth. So it kind of tucks those higher notes in the middle range, so to speak. I'm trying to use terminology I don't know a lot about. I had to go look up what cadence was. You said that last week. I had to look that up. And now it's something to do with the ending of the song, and I can't remember what it was. And I can't remember what context it was used in, so sorry. But anyway, so the major ninth, and then the B seventh. And I'm muting my low E with my ring finger when I play that. And getting through the rest of that. I mean, I could just, like I said, I could just strum one time. Our Heavenly Father, a blessed angel. Or I could just even just not do the, just, what's it, for that C second, just playing what I quote unquote major seventh instead. So I'm just, those chords. Just strumming once through the second verse. Then the string interlude. I listened to it, and what they charted sounds good with what, is there. I think it might be two guitars at once, maybe a double track, or two acoustic parts, maybe, and what they are exactly, I'm not sure. Or he's playing a 12 string or something like that's going on. So it's like, so when the strings come in. I just let my middle finger rest between the E and A's and the E and A strings, and then they mute, so I'm getting I'm not getting that note. I mean, I could do where I thought maybe I could do where. It sounds like in the recording, it sounds more like a than a. So, I don't know. Depend on, who's playing that week and what the chord formation needs to be, I guess. Make that work. After the string interlude, Dan, the singer, comes back in with "Oh, tidings of comfort and joy." Everything cuts out except the brushed drums and the keyboard part, and then it all comes back in full on that outro. So, and I looked specifically at the notes in the sheet music to determine that was a C major 7 to an A minor to a D major to an E minor to a B seventh. If I got those wrong or whatever, let me know. But I was basing it on what notes were offered in the sheet music, and that specific, those whatever notes were in that chord there to determine what exact chord name to go with. So I really tried really hard to adhere to what the sheet music wanted, because I don't know anything. I'm still that. And then the outro. First, I saw that C sharp minor 7th with a flatted 5th and thought, holy crap. So the first thing I did was go to the piano and put all those notes on there and hear what they were. And at one point, which I think the notes are all here. If I go like this, if I go, which I think there's even a note in there, an added note that's harmonious, but not exact in terms of what a C sharp minor 7th with a flat 5th equates to note-wise. But it doesn't sound dissonant, so I was like, that's okay. And I was looking at it like, how do I, because I'm switching from that to a C major, so I was going. So I was just doing, I guess, some kind of C5 thing. Suspended, maybe, I don't know. but then I realized to do that C sharp minor 7th with the added 5th in the bass, I could do a shape as simple as this. So that's just, and then just putting, you know, going down from the C sharp to the C, so, and then, you know, fudging that C chord with a major 7th instead, and it not sounding, you know, again, harmonious, not exact, but harmonious. And then for the E minor to the E minor 2nd, that happened towards the end of the song, what I call the outro on my chart. Basically, I just was doing which the notes were like, and then for the minor 2nd, you know, adding that F sharp, so it would be like. I kind of played with how to do that G chord. I thought I could, to kind of once again keep the theme of keeping those strings open through as many chord changes as possible, so that my guitar is there, but it's in the middle instead of being out front or too far in the back. You know, mid-range instrument being in the middle, I guess, if my lines of thinking are correct. So I even thought of, you know, instead of doing that, I could and just stick on this throughout the E minor and E minor 2nd, just. This is for the E minor to E minor 2nd, G, C major 7, B minor 7 chord progression that happens. That would be like, I would play it like this. Gosh. Play that slower, sorry. The C sharp minor 7 flat 5, I just Now at the end of the song, the very last chord in the song is an E minor 7 with an added 4th. So the way I'm solving that problem, the two ways that I looked at to solve that were either to do this, or way up here. So like at the very last line, the very last progression of chords, E minor 2nd, G, C major 7, B minor 7 to E minor 7 added 4th, letting it ring and letting the song end, playing something like this. Ending it on that. I need to, you know, so I don't know. Those are the chords that I'm messing with, or I don't know, chord shapings, voicings that I'm messing with. You know, trying to pay attention to the rules of an E minor 7 with an added 4th has these specific notes in it. So make sure you have all those notes, or if you're just missing one of those notes due to the way that you're chording on the guitar, it's still, it would be that chord if it had the extra note in it, but there's not a note in there that's dissonant or incorrect. There's no dissonant or incorrect notes. My goal is to eliminate any of those. Definitely, I want it to sound either it's either correct or it's harmonious, are my sort of criteria for my chord formations, I guess. So anyway, I'm putting all this time and analysis into it because, for one, I really like this band and I really like this music. I think it's really well done, and I want it to sound as good as it can. I wish we could find some people to play the strings, or we could find another keyboard player to somehow synthesize the string parts. I think that would be cool. I do not possess the musical ability to write out those parts, to transcribe them from ear. I was trying to play some of what was going on. I thought if I seriously took the time, if I took my loop pedal and pre-recorded those parts, so when it comes up, I would just push my pedal and those parts would just play. That would be, at least something that was, done by us. Even if it's pre-recorded, it's there, and so the song has the full sound that the original recording has, which is great and nice. But so there was another Jars of Clay song we tried to cover that really, it had like really rich, maybe 3 to 4 part vocal harmonies, and the drums, the way the drums were played, and there was some odd percussion in there that was cool. That all of that not being there really took away from the song. And Pastor Mark said something like, he didn't like the cover because we didn't have all the elements that the song had that made it so great. And he noticed it. He could tell the difference. And it was like, okay. And I agreed with him. I was like, you're right. It doesn't sound like the thing. It doesn't deliver the way it could if it doesn't have that stuff in it. So anyway, I made this video just so I could tell you where I'm going with this, and you can take the time to watch it. You got 20 minutes to spare somewhere. Tell me what you think or whatever. Or we'll just wrestle with it, because I can't be there Saturday, so I'm just letting you know where I'm going with everything here with this video. So we'll talk to you soon.